What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thingos back again, and today I'm here to talk about Spectacular Spider-Man Episode 4, Market Forces. Now, this is an episode that I really enjoyed. It has one of my favorite villains in the Rogues Gallery of Spider-Man, and that's Shocker. And we get to see the return of Montana, the character who's actually the leader of the Enforcers, the first group that actually attacked Spectacular Spider-Man in the first, I'm just gonna call him Spider-Man, attacked Spider-Man in the first episode, that three-man team that attacked him out of nowhere when he was going up against the Vulture trying to stop him from attacking Norman Osborn. He actually returns. He was the one that got away, and he starts off this episode by robbing a Tricorp shipment which has a prototype suit inside that Hammerhead tells him to put on because he still owes the big man one friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And that's how it transitions into the amazing opening, which I don't know if I touched on yet. The opening is so good. And let me see, the opening is done by Christopher Carter and Lolita Romantis, I believe, and it is so iconic. It's so good. And it just makes you want to watch the episode 10 times more before you, like, gone are the days of good openings before a show. I mean, every once in a while you'll get like 50 Cent coming out of nowhere making like all them good ass power shows that got them live openings and shit, but you don't really see like too many shows like coming with actual good openings anymore, especially cartoons, bro. They just be coming on with a title card and then the episode starts. I'm like, that was boring as hell. But no, anyway, the opening is awesome. You gotta check it out. And right after that, we get to see Peter. You know, he's getting used to his job at the Daily Bugle. Was kind of like a freelancer. He's taking pictures, you know, stopping criminals, doing his thing. And he meets Robbie, and he tells him, like, hey, bro, you know you need to invest in a new camera. Peter finds out that Robbie is actually the father of Rand Robinson, who goes to his school, who's actually the boyfriend, the real boyfriend of Sally, the female that Peter tried to talk to in the first episode, and it didn't really work out. But yeah, anyway, pretty cool little tidbit. And we also see that Peter is trying to put the moves on Betty Brant. She is pretty cute, so you know he's trying to see what's up with that. But she's much older than him. Peter's still in high school, 15, 16, and Betty Brant's like 24. So I mean, hey, you gotta give Peter credit, but she's definitely not gonna give him none of that. So anyway, we get to see a setup, kind of like a mock robbery from O'Hearn and Flint Marko. What they do is they try to draw Spider-Man towards them so that Shocker can take him by surprise, and it works. And this happens right after Peter gets his paycheck from Jameson and gets another assignment to get more pictures of Spider-Man within like 2 hours or something like that. Parker is like, cool, that's no problem, especially considering he just left the Daily Bugle and ran into this robbery. So he's thinking everything is about to go smooth. Out of nowhere, he gets attacked by Shocker, and that's when the line gets ushered by Shocker himself. Hey, bet that beard is a bit of a shocker, right, Buck? Well, so will this. And he shot him, and then Spider-Man was just like, who are you? And he was just like, how's about Shocker? How's about Toast? And he flew back because when he tried to swing and kick Shocker, Shocker's like suit shot out like a little repulsion, like protection blast to you know, push Spider-Man off of him. So I guess like it has like this little you know, like automatic function where if anything comes too close to him or tries to hurt him, it'll kind of like protect it, you know, like kind of push it back with a little, you know what I'm saying, a little pop. Because Shocker's powers is he shoots out like shock waves from these gauntlets that he wears, but the suit actually can project the same waves. Is that what I'm saying? So it's pretty cool, and I love the design. I always have. It has like that, a mix of the old school, like really like loud color scheme, the yellow sponginess mixed with the red. I love that, but it might be a little too cheesy for today's standards even then. So it's kind of like a little slightly more sleek, modernized design, but I really like what they did with it, and they make Shocker more imposing than he's ever been in any other medium. Usually he's taken out fairly quick, or he's seen as more of a team or just more of a joke, but what I love about this show is they really take him seriously, and he's seen as an individual threat and a professional in what he does compared to the other villains that they kind of like show on display. You know, even though he still loses, you can see that he stands out from the other rogues, and I really like how they do that. You know, he's not just some regular two-bit criminal, you know, trying to take on Spider-Man. He actually really does, you know, see this as his profession, and he takes this with a higher responsibility, and he really does put up a good fight against Spider-Man. You can even see he directly says it in a conversation with Spider-Man during their second fight, and he really wins this first one, which is crazy. I forgot to mention that he actually wins this first fight. If it wasn't for this dumb crazy luck that Spider-Man went through by actually sliding into a refrigerator that was opened up inside of a garbage compactor, he would have died. Like, he slipped inside of there by the grace of God. He was right next to it, the door was already open, and he was sliding in that direction, but he couldn't even move because he was so submerged in the trash after Shocker blasted him across the damn, you know what I'm saying, what you call it, fucking junkyard or whatever the fuck. But anyway, the point is, he would have died, bro. Like, if it wasn't for that dumb look. Like, Shocker really beat this nigga, bro, the first time. You know what I'm saying? But when he got up out of there, he was feeling good. He said, you know what, bro, I would leave your ass for the cops, Sandman, but I'm in too good of a mood, nigga. Bop! And he just blasted that, because, you know, Flint Marko, he not Sandman yet, but he was still tied up by Spider-Man by his weapon on top of one of the cars, and Flint just ended up blasting his ass back. He blasted the shit out of O'Hearn, too, because he thought he killed Spider-Man. He tried to stop Spider-Man in the middle of their fight, in the middle of Spider-Man and Shocker's fight. O'Hearn got the garbage truck, and he tried to smash Spider-Man, got on Shocker's nerve, and Shocker just blasted his ass halfway across the junkyard too, through the damn trash, like the garbage truck door. He blasted that nigga through that shit. I thought that was funny as hell. I was like, damn. But yeah, Shocker felt good. He on top of the world. He thinking he killed Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? So he going to the club, you know, he about to play some pool, you know, but then Hammerhead pull up on him. He just like, hey, Shocker, bro, big man want to have a word with your ass, bro. And you don't think you've been handling your responsibility. And he crushed the little pool ball that he picked up, and he just like, nigga, what? You know what I'm saying? So what he does is he sets a trap for Spider-Man again. Well, not really a trap, more like a invitation, like he's calling him out. He makes a set of tremors that alerts everyone in the city, especially the Daily Bugle. You have Robbie saying, like, New York is not known for earthquakes, and it's like the third tremor that they've had in just a couple minutes. So what Spider-Man does is he pulls up the computer and he traces the tremors, and he sees that it's literally a path leading him to a certain area where he can meet Shocker for their rematch. And I really love how they set that up. Also in the background, you got Peter thinking about the stuff that he talked about with Shocker when he was just like, what the hell did I ever do to you? And Shocker just like, look, man, simple as this. It's as simple as this, bro. If a man is a man, he honors his responsibilities, bro. And you one of mine. Ain't nothing personal, bro. I just gotta take you out. You know, that makes Peter think more about how he wants to actually take up more responsibility and help his Aunt May with the bills and everything that he constantly sees stacking up. So I like how they build up that story in the background, that we ultimately get to see what Peter is going to do with that at the end of the episode, while also seeing what he's going to do with the Shocker, you know, going on in the forefront. So we get one last confrontation between Shocker and Peter at like this abandoned theater. It's really good. You get to see some good banter going back and forth. Peter makes fun of how Shocker has that super strong country accent sounding like a cowboy. It's super funny, like the back and forth. They're just like, with that accent, I was thinking rodeo clown. And he was just, don't you mock me, boy. And it was, Shocker, always sound like this, please. But I know it's not gonna happen. This is probably the only time in life that we are ever gonna get a country ass Shocker like this, but probably the only time we ever gonna see the character of Montana on screen. Like, I don't know, man. But anyway, this was awesome. The fight didn't last too long, and it ended with Spider-Man actually getting in Montana's head, you know, Shocker's head, making him not really pay that much attention to the damage he was doing to the theater. and he also pulled 2 more of the support beams. The last 2, the Shocker, didn't even notice, and it made the entire place collapse on him. And the suit was able to protect him from it, but I think it was a little bit too much for it to handle, and then it ended up, just making him get trapped underneath there, like underneath all that rubble. And then the police ended up taking him into custody. Now, after that, we get to see Spider-Man making his way back home, and Peter Parker. This is Peter Parker moment, not a Spider-Man. Peter Parker actually walks in Aunt May, and he gets his paycheck, and he sets it down, and he tells Aunt May, he's just like, you know what, man? A man has to honor his responsibilities, and you're one of mine. Aunt May, let me help. And she just like, you know what? I accept. If you agree to set aside 10% of this, your paychecks to get a new camera. Pretty interesting too. I know I skipped past this, but it was a real funny scene earlier in the episode when Peter wanted to pretty much put it out there that he was still alive so that he could fight Shocker for a rematch. He was trying to go and just get a new camera, but conveniently the camera store was actually being robbed by O'Hearn and Marco again. So they was carrying this super heavy box, God knows what was in it, but when they was about to put it inside of the truck, Peter was hiding in there, like Spider-Man was hiding inside that truck, and it was this running joke about how he smelled like shit because he went to that I always forget that shit. He went to that junkyard. That it is. He went to that little junkyard, that little garbage, He went there for one night to try to stop those criminals and take some pictures, but when he got caught off guard by Shocker and blasted inside that trash and literally was inside the garbage compactor, submerged in trash. You can only imagine how he smelled and how strong that shit was. It was not gonna wash out, no matter what he did. So it was a running joke through the episode. Everybody was talking about his smell. You had J. Jonah Jameson talking about he gotta take a bath in some tomato juice. Only thing that's gonna help him out after taking pictures at a dump. You got Alex O'Hearn, Rhino. He's smelling Peter when he was inside of the truck that they was about to put the stolen goods in. He was just like, something smells bad. And then he jumped out and he was just like, what? Still? I showered like 5 times. So it's like, yeah, I thought that shit was funny as hell. And also another moment when he was at school, he challenged Flash to a race to climb up the ropes in PE because he was trying to back up Harry because Flash was talking shit about him. And Flash flat out said, I'm straight, bro. I don't even want to race against you. You stank as hell. Usually when I say Peter Parker stinks, I'm playing. It's a figure of speech, but whoo! Like, I started laughing. He just flamed his ass in front of everybody, bro. I'm like, damn. So yeah, Peter was stinking, bro. They had to bring that shit up 3 times in this whole episode. But yeah, I just had to bring that up. I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, like I said, the episode ended with Peter just letting Aunt May know, like, I'm gonna help you out with this. I'm gonna use my money that I get from the Daily Bugle to help you out with these bills, and we're gonna get past this, Aunt May. And yeah, ends with another beautiful conversation between Aunt May and Peter, with them agreeing to help each other out, and they're gonna get through this. Camera pans out, we get to see the Spider-Man symbol in the foreground, and then the credits come up. So you already know, man, that's been another breakdown of a spectacular Spider-Man episode. I really enjoyed this one. I love the character of the Shocker and all of his appearances. He pops up several times throughout this entire series. But this was about how he becomes who he is. And almost forgot, man. At the very end, you get a tease of what's to come. You see the big man actually has a meeting with Norman Osborn. He's not there because they're always trying to make him ominous and secret and shit. But Hammerhead actually comes there, and he brings his he comes to his office and he brings his like a monitor, and he opens it up, and then Norman Osborn is talking to the big man, and he tells him, he's just like, yeah, so Norman, you see, when Spider-Man is busy fighting people like the Lizard and our Shocker, he's too focused on that to really like interfere in our business. So we want to task you to make more supervillains for Spider-Man to fight. And then he was just like, what's in it for me? Like ample funding for your, and more guinea pigs for your projects, you know what I'm saying, for your more dangerous projects. And you already know Norman Osborn is gonna fuck with that. And the cool thing about this is you find out that he was actually the one that tipped off the big man to that Tri-Corporation shipment that was robbed by Montana at the beginning of the episode. So it was set up and then it was paid off at the very end, because it was kind of random how it opened up like that. They didn't even have to explain that, but I like how they put that line in there to let you know like what the fuck was going on with that. And also another interesting thing, right before this conversation, you got to see Harry Osborn. He was angry because throughout the whole episode, Peter kept forgetting that he had to actually tutor Harry for this test. And Harry was depending so much on Peter tutoring him for that test that he didn't actually do any studying of his own. And he blamed Peter for actually failing the test. And he kept on getting mad because he felt like Peter kept abandoning him. You know how Peter always has to get caught up in something, saving somebody, going to the Bugle, forgetting because he got to do this and that. The life of Spider-Man, right? But yeah, Harry gets mad, storms in, starts complaining, and for the first time we get to see some honest to God advice from his father Norman. And he may have said it abruptly and rough, but he told him exactly what he needed to hear. He like, you failed because you didn't study. You want to pass? Study. You want to be popular? Be popular. Life's pretty simple, son. You cowboy up and you do what you gotta do. I ain't gonna lie, man. I could have took that damn advice some years ago. Shit, look, for some aspects of my life right now, goddamn it, like shit, we all need to hear that. But yeah, man, really enjoyed this episode. Definitely one of my favorites. Let me know what you think about this episode. If you've seen it, if you haven't, then you know, well, why the fuck you watching this episode? Because I just spoiled the whole damn thing for you. But yeah, the next episode is gonna be just as entertaining, if not more, because we're gonna be talking about Flint Marko becoming Sandman. That's right. His episode is next. So, hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you want to join the Facebook group, Viltrumites Take Flight, be sure to look that up. Also, if you want to join Invincible Disciples, hit the link below. That's the Discord. Hope you're having a good day, night, wherever you are. And until next time, guys, peace.